So tonight I've gone and prepared myself a quarantine cage. I suspect some of my pigeons have worms. So we're going to be quarantining one of the birds, and I'm going to be giving him a dewormer tablet in the morning because you have to give it on an empty crop. And then we'll be able to see in 2 or 3 days if they did have worms. The rest of the flock's also going to be treated and also be dewormed whilst we're at it. But in order to be able to really see if they do have worms, it is best to quarantine one and check the droppings daily afterwards and change the dropping paper every single day. And yeah, so I'm going to go get the bird quick. Okay, so I've got one of my birds and I've put him inside here. It's one of my males who is feeling a little bit skinny and a bit bony around the breast area. I know this is a common cause or common sign of the birds maybe having worms. So we're going to let him stay in this cage overnight, and then tomorrow morning first thing we're going to be deworming him. Okay, so this morning we're preparing to treat all the birds. I have another bird that's in serious condition that I've had to bring in overnight. We're going to have to be treating some Dalmatimus earth. This stuff is really good for roundworms, tapeworms, and this one also contains vitamins. So I'm going to be mixing that with some of their food with cooking oil, just so that it sticks to the food, and then we're going to be feeding that. I took away the birds' food last night after dinner, so they should have an empty crop this morning. For that, we're going to be administrating a proper dewormer to every single bird individually, just to make 100% sure. Then I just have a vitamin boost which goes into their water just to give them a bit of an energy boost, because some of the birds are looking really lethargic. This is going to be for the parrots. I'm going to give it to them as well. They're also going to get a little bit of the earth with some cooked vegetables, just so that we can be preventative across the board. The finches will also be getting. We don't want worms for everyone. I have a watering can here, a 5-litre watering can that I'm just going to be using to mix the correct ratio of vitamin to water. And then I'm going to be making some soft food and administering it to one of the birds, which is very weak, just to give that bird a little bit of a helping hand this morning. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. Cool, so I've got the bird's food measure out in a 2.5 kilo, 500 gram and a 1 kilo. And we're just going to be adding, it's a tablespoon normally for a kilo. So we're not going to be doing quite a tablespoon for 2.5. Just a pinch, 500 gram. Cool, now I'm just going to be adding a bit of cooking oil. This is just sunflower oil. This is literally just to mix the food. And I'm going to be adding about 25 ml a tablespoon, just so that it's not too sticky. And then yeah, we'll go from there. Cool, so for the Vitrobron, it's 5 grams to 5 liters. So our watering can is 5 liters. So we're going to be mixing that up. I'm first mixing it in this little measuring jug, and then we'll pour it into the watering can and add in the rest of the water. So I'm just in the process here in cooking up some of the fresh vegetables for the parrots, so that they can also get some medication once we're done. Okay, so we're outside by the aviaries. It is quite a cold winter's morning. We have some frost gel on the grass. We're going to be administering now the dewormer tablets to each and every single bird individually. And yeah, we'll see how they do. At the moment, I literally only have 1 Jacobin left in the outside aviary, and my last 2 remaining birds are inside, so this is a very serious epidemic we are facing in our aviaries, and it really needs to be sorted out. Boop. Boop. Okay, food and water given, dewormer administrated, and we'll see. We'll see a little bit later this afternoon how they're all looking. So I'm going to be syringe feeding 2 of the pigeons that are very weak. So I've got some Aviary Plus. This is the hand rearing formula. This is the 1 to 2 week old one. I do not have the 10 to 12 day old one. So this is the one that I'm just going to have to use for now. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix in some full fat soya just to help. And then I'm also going to mix in some extra vitamins and minerals for these birds and a little bit of a booster. And then I'm going to be syringe feeding them just to give them a bit of a boost, because the one bird is very, very weak. And although the other one is not as weak, I doubt they'll be able to eat on their own. They're still going to receive food in the cage, but this is just for in case they don't eat their food, that at least we can get something inside their system. So these are 2 birds that I'm going to be syringe feeding. This one is the male that I brought in last night, just so we could see how he was doing. He was very weak yesterday, but unfortunately his mate, she's even more weak today, and she's even unable to stand. So I've just covered her here. She's breathing very, very slowly. She has a hot water bottle just to keep her warm. So yeah, we're gonna have to take really good care of them if we're gonna pull them through this. I won't be able to record myself syringe feeding. Unfortunately, I'm one person, I don't have a tripod. But here is the mixture already mixed, and then here's my syringe with tube that I'm going to be using just to give these birds about, even if it's just 10 mils to start off with, just so that they have a bit of a boost. Everyone's fed, watered, medication administered, and we'll see them all a little bit later today. So, an update on the birds. The last couple of days have been really hard. So on Sunday evening, Monday morning, we lost 2 birds. And then on Tuesday morning, we lost another. And then on Tuesday evening, we lost another. So a total of 4 birds have passed in the last couple of days, including a quail. And that takes the total to 5. The other birds that are left seem to be okay and happy. We have been treating them, obviously, keeping a close eye on them, and it truly is sad. But for anyone who's kept birds before or who's keeping birds currently, just always remember that it is something that can happen. And although it's devastating that it did happen, it's no reason to give up or no reason to stop keeping birds. Prevention's always better than cure, so always got to keep that in mind. Always good to deworm your birds. Always good to make sure that they've got clean water every single day, fresh food every single day, whatever they don't land up eating. It's always best to either take away and dispose of or to reduce their food. So yeah, it's been quite an ordeal, but let's stay hopeful, let's look forward to the future, and let's continue enjoying the birds which we still have.